On the morning of March 15th, 2029, just days after President Kanye West was impeached in what he called the greatest backstabbing in all of history, the UNA, United Nations of America, comprised mainly of Mexico and Canada, launched a decisive strike against the United States, hoping to consolidate their hold on the North American continent and to remove their competition. Targeted in the strike were the cities of New York, Los Angeles, San Antonio, Washington, D.C., and Columbus. The goal was to cripple the United States government and its society as a whole. While the strikes on D.C., LA, and Columbus were a complete success, the strike teams failed to take out the San Antonio and New York locations due to overwhelming U.S. air superiority over San Antonio, and large amounts of civilian resistance in New York. By the next morning, the remainders of the U.S. military had congregated in the two cities with civilians fleeing from the coming battle. The next strike on the cities was seen off with a major show of force, but there were many casualties on both sides. In a last-ditch attempt to wipe these two pockets of resistance off the map, the UNA made the executive decision to nuke the cities. Knowing what was coming, the remaining U.S. forces contacted their allies within the Mexican and Canadian forces and urged them to redirect the bombs back onto the UNA forces. One of the bombs was successfully redirected and hit Ontario, Canada, while the other failed and landed directly in Times Square, New York City. Canadian and U.S. forces fell apart. Mexico was then the only one left to deal with the UN as it charged it with genocide. In the end, the UN abolished the country of Mexico, leaving the entirety of North America to be rebuilt by the survivors of the former United States and Canadian forces. Eventually, in the year 2050, after 21 years of trial and error, the nation of Litera was formed, promising to never again start an Indo-American war.